So I tried building an AI newsletter business in just 7 days, and today I'm going to show you exactly what happened. Welcome to this explainer. Look, there is so much hype and get-rich-quick noise out there right now, so we are going to completely cut through all of that. Instead, we're going to look at the cold, hard reality of building a scalable, AI-driven media asset from absolute scratch over just a single week.
Now, you might be wondering, what was the actual point of all this? Well, the crucial question driving this whole experiment was this. Can AI truly run a profitable business in just 7 days? I mean, was I actually building a sustainable digital asset here, or was I just spinning up another flimsy AI wrapper that was going to completely collapse overnight? We're going to look at the initial hypothesis, the 7-day sprint itself, and I'll give you a totally transparent, honest postmortem of my results.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover the 7-day challenge. Then we'll get into building the actual content factory, look at the traction, growth, and real revenue numbers, touch on some glitches in the matrix, and finish up with the big lessons and future improvements.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, the 7-day newsletter challenge.
So, why a newsletter? Well, right now, we are absolutely living in the curation economy. Think about it. People are just drowning in information every single day, but they are starving for a trusted filter. And on one hand, you've got these wildly unpredictable social media algorithms. I mean, one day a video goes viral, and the next day your reach is literally zero. It's totally out of your control. But on the other hand, you have an email list. You actually own this. It's a controllable digital asset that no algorithm update can ever take away from you.
But here's the thing. If you actually want to make money in this space, you cannot just write about general life advice. It doesn't work. You need a highly specific niche where sponsors are actually willing to pay a premium to reach your audience. We're talking things like AI and tech news specifically for founders, B2B green tech, longevity topics for high earners, and, crucially, geo-targeted local news. Basically, general topics fail, but highly specific, targeted audiences, they attract the high-paying sponsors. Okay, moving right along to section 2, building the content factory.
You literally do not need a massive team or some expensive web developer to pull this off anymore. It's wild. Let's look at the tech stack. The brain of the operation is ChatGPT or Claude 3. This essentially acts as your executive editor. The artist is Midjourney, which pumps out those custom, really premium-looking header images. Then you have the engine, which is Beehiiv or Substack, to host the newsletter and handle all your growth tools. And finally, for automation, you've got tools like NAN that can literally go out and fetch the daily news for you automatically. It's the ultimate lean toolkit. So how does that stack actually work day to day? Well, here is the insanely fast 30-minute daily workflow I tested out. Step 1, you just gather links to the top niche articles using a simple RSS feed or Google Alerts. Step 2, you feed those exact links into your AI brain with a really specific prompt to summarize them into punchy conversational bullet points. You tell it, hey, no boring corporate jargon. Step 3, you paste that into Beehiiv, drop in your AI art, do a quick human review, and hit send. Guys, what used to take a human editor like 6 hours now takes 30 minutes. But, okay, hold on. Here is the catch, and it's a massive one. You absolutely cannot just copy and paste. As the brilliant creator Lucy Griffiths points out, you have to use AI as an energetic sparring buddy. It is not a total replacement for your own human intuition. If you just blast out generic, robotic AI output, your audience is going to instantly spot it and they will unsubscribe so fast. Honestly, your human-edited conversational voice, that is your actual competitive advantage here. Which brings us nicely to section 3, traction, growth, and revenue. To actually get those first crucial subscribers quickly, I didn't just cross my fingers and wait for organic search traffic. Nope, I used a very specific growth hack. I used AI to generate a highly targeted cheat sheet lead magnet. Think of it as a super valuable one-page PDF guide. Then I promoted that over on Reddit, LinkedIn, and threw some cheap $10 a day ads at it. The pitch is super simple. Hey, I put together this awesome free PDF. Just subscribe to my free newsletter to get it instantly. Let me tell you, it works incredibly well. So what about the money? To put this into perspective, let's look at a really fascinating case study from a creator who is doing this exact model right now for local news. By using AI to curate and rewrite really dry local news into a fun, readable daily format, they quickly built up a loyal audience. And get this, they now charge 6 local sponsors $400 each per month. That is $2,400 in monthly revenue for about 30 minutes of daily work. Crazy, right? And the best part is, as your newsletter grows, you're not just relying on those sponsorships anymore. It gets way more diverse. You can start dropping in affiliate links for tools you personally recommend, and you earn a commission on that. Then, eventually, you can introduce premium subscriptions, where you charge maybe $5 to $10 a month for exclusive deep dive content. Before you know it, you've built a highly resilient multi-stream media business.
Okay, let's get real for a second in Section 4, Glitches in the Matrix, because it definitely wasn't all smooth sailing. Listen to this absolutely brutal reality check from the graveyard of failed AI startups. Quote, if OpenAI shut down your API key and your startup also dies, you didn't build a product, you built a fancy prompt. Ouch. But it's so true. This is the exact reality for literally thousands of businesses built over the last couple of years that provided zero real value beyond just a simple API call to ChatGPT. In the industry, they call this the wrapper problem. If your whole business is nothing but a user interface wrapped around ChatGPT, you are going to face infinite API token costs as your user base scales. Plus, you have absolutely zero defensive moat, meaning competitors can literally clone your entire business over a weekend. But the newsletter model actually survives this. Why? Because it uses AI for internal production efficiency, not as the raw product being sold. The actual product is the curated information and the trust you build with your audience. So, what are the literal traps you need to avoid if you try this? Well, first up is over-reliance on AI without having a human check the facts. Don't do it. Second, pushing for monetization way too early before your readers actually trust you. Third, ignoring your open rates and click-through analytics. You need that data. And finally, the very real danger of AI copy fatigue. You know that sterile, overly enthusiastic robot voice? Yeah, your readers hate it, and they will leave if every email sounds like that. All right, final section, part 5, lessons and future improvements. So, stepping back from the 7 days, the biggest takeaways are crystal clear. Curating information is highly profitable. However, having a human in the loop is absolutely non-negotiable. Like I said before, AI is your engine, but you are the steering wheel. Also, as you start to grow, segmenting your audience and using hard data like showing off a massive 48% open rate is exactly how you are going to justify charging those premium high-ticket sponsor rates later on. Now, if I were to keep building this out, here is exactly what I'd improve next to really scale it. Instead of just doing month-to-month sponsors, the goal would be to lock in 3 to 6 month contracts. That just totally stabilizes your cash flow. I'd also build a much better media kit showcasing those high open rates. I'd definitely add a niche job board. That's honestly an easy way to generate an extra $1,000 a month. And lastly, I'd create an exclusive premium community tier for the most dedicated readers. Looking ahead, here's what a realistic timeline actually looks like to scale this from a simple 7-day experiment into a real automated media asset over 6 months. Month 1 is purely about launching and using those lead magnets to aggressively capture emails. By month 3, you're introducing your first sponsorships and starting to cross-promote with other creators in your niche. And by month 6, that's when you're implementing the advanced audience segmentation and officially launching those premium paid tiers. So here is the absolute honest takeaway from this whole thing. A curated newsletter is an incredibly profitable, surprisingly low-stress business model. But AI is just your engine. It is not your entire company. You really have to do the work to curate the noise for your readers, and you absolutely must keep your unique human voice if you actually want to retain them long-term. Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. Are you ready to use these amazing tools to build a real digital asset that you actually own? Or are you going to fall into the trap of building just another fragile AI wrapper? The opportunity waiting in the inbox is literally massive right now, but how you execute it is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.